Okay, welcome to today's webinar for getting ready for looking for work this season. I've got a lot of things to cover in a short amount of time, so I'm going to dive on in. Feel free to take notes as I go along and cover the different topics. So first, Happy New Year. If you are not aware, this is the time, if you're wanting to transition, that this is the time to look, because normally there is a lot more opportunity coming about. Company budgets are set. They're looking to fill new roles. And so it's really time is of the essence these next few months in landing net new roles in organizations, opportunities, and there's a number of things, though, for you to embark on finding a new opportunity. There's more than just a resume, and there's more than just applying to jobs online. Because the harsh reality is the opportunities are not all posted online. They're not visible for you to find. Statistically, you've got 80% of opportunities that are nowhere to be found because they're being found and sourced by headhunters offline, or they are hidden and to be defined based on creating roles for yourself. So you really have to think through an end-to-end strategy and plan to land an opportunity today, to make a career move, to find a new job. And so what we're going to discuss today is how to build the right strategy and plan. What are the components you need, the ingredients to help you find and be found for opportunities? And so what I'm going to cover in detail are 6 components you need in your strategy and plan. You need to have the right mindset. You need to have clarity, not just on where you're going, but where you've been. You need to have a target. You cannot be all over the place in terms of the different roles you want. You've got to be very specific on the target you're looking at. You need to have a brand that's memorable. You need to have a network or leverage your social capital. And you need a system in place to manage the career transition. And so before I dive in for any further details, I'm Jamie Chambron, and I accelerate career moves by aiding busy professionals in positioning them, their value and impact to stand out. I support you in becoming clear, concise, and confident in answering why me, online, on paper, and in person. And you've got some links here to my LinkedIn and to my website that you're welcome to follow me, sign up for my email newsletter where I share and promote other webinars and things that I offer to help individuals advance their careers. And so as I mentioned, we're going to go through 6 components to have in having a quick, easy, strategic plan that you can follow that's going to get you to where you want to go next and accelerate that process. And number one, we have to have the right mindset. You have to be confident. You have to be willing to do different things you haven't done before. A job search today is not like a job search even a year or 2 ago. It's not as easy as just applying online or hitting the easy apply button. So you've got to be willing to do things you've never done before, do outreach, ask for specific things. So that's part of what you have to get comfortable with, is doing different things. You need to also, have a mindset around being resilient. So you're going to go out there, approach a lot of people, and a number of things, may not work out. You may need to have a lot of conversations, get comfortable introducing yourself or networking. So these are the kinds of things you've got to get in the right mindset and manifest what's that thing you want. You've got to be positive. You've got to be resilient in moving forward in landing that next opportunity. Again, it's different even from a year ago in having the right pieces in place to find and land a new opportunity. And this is a great quote, and I love the book Disrupt Yourself or Be Disrupted, is you have to really shift your mindset to be able to move in a new direction, to be able to approach a job search today. You really need to be, and that's why I say the first step in your strategy and plan is having the right mindset to move you forward. So that's component one. Component two is clarity. It's clarity about what you've done in your career. It's clarity about your strengths. It's clarity about what you're bringing to the table, the value you bring. This is a step often missed in really honing in on the things you love to do, you're great at, you want to do more of. That's just kind of what you need to do. And so I'm going to pause here with a quote for you to read. So part of this is, being uncertain, which is fine, so that you can start to make thoughts and progress on where you want to go next in your career. So the third piece to the equation is having a target. So this is back to, you cannot have multiple roles you're looking at. You've got to be really specific on the role you're looking for, the industries of focus, what's the type of company, what's the kind of culture you're looking for. So it's really important, again, that you've got to, once you're clear on the value you bring, your strengths, where you're going, then it's taking it to the next step in terms of really being targeted on what you want in this next move and what you're going to get out of this next opportunity, and to really define what's that role, what's that job, what's that type of company. Small, are you looking at small, mid, large? Are you looking at Fortune 500? Are you looking at private equity backed? Are you looking at VC backed? It's really important, again, you get really specific, because what you're going to need to do as part of this strategy and plan is to determine and define a list of your top 10, 20, 30 companies you want to go target. List the top 10, 20 types of industries or people you want to go network with. There's a lot of targeting you need to do nowadays in a job search, again, to how you find the opportunities that are not posted online. This is another great quote in terms of, you've got to have both a strategy and a plan in your job search today. And that's what these pieces are going to be, the different pieces you put in place to move yourself forward in finding your next opportunity. Okay, the fourth component, now that you've really got the right mindset, you're clear on your value, where you've been, where you're going, you have a target in mind of what you want to do next, that target role, the target type of company. You then put together your personal brand, what you do for who, and the value you provide. That's how you build your resume. This is when you're going to optimize your LinkedIn profile. This is when you put basically your marketing assets together and optimize them so that they're leaning you into what you want to do next and where you're going in your career. And it's important when you put your personal brand together and these different assets that it's something, well, I always hone in on what I call the personal brand promise. It's that one-liner, and that one-liner needs to be memorable so that other people can promote you, people remember you, they're going to want to call you back, they're going to want to interview you. So it's really important that this fourth step here is honing in on that brand and then developing, based on where you're going, having that clarity, the right resume and LinkedIn profile to help you get there. So this is, again, another great quote in terms of you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And if anything, this is going to be a step you're going to spend the most time in, is honing in on what your personal brand statement is. So when you're out networking, when you're introducing yourself, when you're circulating your resume, when people are looking at your LinkedIn profile, it's really clear on what you do and what you're bringing to the table. Okay, the fifth component is network activation. And so this is where it's critical to begin to lean in on your social capital. And what that is going to be the relationships and the people you've collected over the years that really know you. You trust them, you like them, they like you, they trust you, they know you, and they're willing to refer you to people in their personal network. And so once you these are the building blocks. Once you know you're clear on where you're going, you know your target, you have a list of companies, you've got your resume and LinkedIn optimized, you then go forward and start to talk to who you know, share with them what you're looking for, the companies you're looking at, and see who they can introduce you to. This is the easiest way to find opportunities, to get an interview, to get conversations going, is through your network. And part of what you may need to do is work on growing your network. You might need to go out there and get to networking organizations, events, to meet other people to help you move forward. The reason why this is so important is that 85% of jobs are still filled via networking, and half of them are opportunities that are learned through friends, and a good amount nowadays, especially with all the AI, people are trying to optimize their profiles. Having a referral is going to be the way to get you to have an interview, to talk with the hiring manager, to talk with the recruiter in presenting and pitching yourself for an opportunity. Hands down, it's going to be the easiest and the fastest way to start to get interviews going. The last piece is then having a systemic plan that you are going to follow daily, weekly, in making progress in your job search. And it's also about setting some goals for yourself. So every morning it might be applying to 1 or 2 jobs, it might be building new connections, it might be doing some outreach to your current network, but you need to set yourself a plan and ways to make sure you're tracking your progress in terms of who you've outreached to, where you're uncovering people to talk to. When you begin to talk to people you haven't met before, having some talking points around getting to know them, their organization. It's not about you asking for a job. It's about interviewing them to learn more about what they do, what problems they're solving, the value. And also remember too, as you meet new people, make sure you leave behind some value in terms of the kinds of problems you've solved, or on LinkedIn, continuing to share your knowledge and insights. These are the things you need to do systemically to be able to make progress in finding new opportunities, and being consistent and being methodical and doing this day in and day out until you get to that place where you've got 3 to 4 offers on the table to make a decision. So again, we covered 6 parts in what you need in looking for opportunities today. We started with the right mindset. We then talked about clarity on where you've been and where you're going, determining what that target role, industry, type of company you're looking for, organization. Then it's about building out your personal brand and the marketing materials that go with it. From there, it's about your network, your social capital, activating it. And then lastly, it's about having that systemic approach be it it's on your calendar first thing every morning. You're making sure you've got set goals of how many outreaches you're doing day in and day out to make that progress. So what I've put together over the years in helping people advance their careers is I've put a very specific roadmap together to do what I just shared, but in much more detail and in methodical steps in terms of first working on your strategy, which is going to be, clarity, research, putting a high-level plan in place. It's then working on your brand. What's that value, that brand promise? How do you package yourself? You are a service to others, and so it's important to know, and a product to others, so to know how to package you to others and how to pitch yourself. Then it's about getting out there and marketing. This is almost a go-to-market strategy and plan where, again, activating your network. You've got to prep for interviews. You've got to prep for conversations to put your best foot forward. Interviews is, again, it's all about selling and marketing yourself through the interview process. And then ideally, you're at the table negotiating a great offer to help you move forward. And the roadmap, what I've done is to help with accelerating the process, because a search does take a bit of time today. So there's 3 different ways I work with individuals. There's one, I have an academy where you can go through the roadmap and the framework on your own, where I'll give you templates and scripts and e-learning to walk you through each step of the process. Secondly, I do work with people, since this step takes a lot of work, is your personal branding materials, really honing in on what you do for who and the value you provide and produce a resume, provide you optimized content for your LinkedIn profile. And then lastly, the other way I help is to be basically hands-on with this transition, and I'm your guide, walking you in detail through the roadmap, getting you to each step in the process, giving you tools to help track your search, to help surface opportunities, surface resources, surface connects, and to also help you stay accountable and making progress in getting from where you are today to landing a new opportunity. So my goals in working with anyone, I've been doing this now, I'm embarking in year 8, is really helping you be clear. I want to accelerate the process. I want you to have the right mindset and positivity and moving forward. You need a plan. I want to make sure you get what you're worth. Do not settle. And I want to make sure we position you to stand out, to harvest what's unique, what's going to differentiate you. Part of the process in working with me is you're going to really hone in on those stories and examples of accomplishments that not only you could bring and weave into your resume, it's going to also be what is used as part of your interview talk track. And so I'm really here to accelerate the process and sharpen that personal brand and how you're going to market and sell you to land a new opportunity. So again, this is the average amount of time I'd say working and seeing what happened over the last year. Job searches are more like not 6 to 9, if not a full year, depending on the industry that you're in. So my goal with the roadmap and the tools I create and what I do is to accelerate that process. So again, thank you for joining me today. This was a quick roundup of what you need to be ready for a job search. Again, mindset, the right clarity on where you've been and where you're going, having that target in mind. Then it's about building your personal brand materials, your resume, your LinkedIn profile. From there, it's that social capital, that network activation. And then lastly, it's having a systemic plan that you're going to be able to follow day in and day out to help you make progress and to feel good about the progress you're making. Welcome to follow me on LinkedIn. Sign up for my mailing list at careeragilitysystem.com. And if you're at a point where you want to learn more about how I can help you discuss where you're at and where you're looking to go, my bit.ly schedule a one-on-one with me is at the bottom of this slide. And I will have, where you registered on Eventbrite, I have more webinars as we do a weekly webinar or workshop where you can get more insight of what's going on in the job market and career developments. So feel free to sign up for an upcoming webinar. And I do have, I do resume reviews and LinkedIn reviews, and I have a power hour coming up. It is for a fee. But that's where you will send me in advance your resume and your LinkedIn profile. And for those who register for that particular power hour, I will be going over everyone's materials so you can hear not just feedback on your specific resume and your specific profile, but also feedback on others so you can kind of see what the best practices are in what you need to weave into the different components of your job search strategy. So again, thank you so much for attending today's webinar. I will leave this up and stay online for another minute so you can jot this down. Yes, if you enjoyed today's session, please love to see some claps. Always looking for feedback and follow up with me if there's anything else you'd like to see or a future topic to cover in these webinars, since I do webinars pretty much weekly to help individuals really progress their careers. So again, thank you so much for attending. I hope to see you at a one-on-one or a future event. And again, I have 3 different ways I can work with you if you want to go self-paced, if you want me to help you with your resume and your LinkedIn profile, or I can really help you manage the end-to-end process. And for those that did attend, I will do some follow-up. There will be a transcript I will share for those who made it to the session today.